choked unconscious or dragged around by my head.
Welcome back to our Time Travel Clock channel. Today we explore Hollywood stars who are suffering from prison sentences. Find out in today's video. Oscar Pistorius' rise to international fame was nothing short of inspiring. Born with a congenital condition leading to the amputation of both legs, he defied expectations by becoming a Paralympic champion and even competing against able-bodied athletes in the Olympics. He was celebrated worldwide as a symbol of determination and triumph over adversity. However, this narrative took a dark turn on Valentine's Day 2013, when Pistorius fatally shot his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp, claiming he mistook her for an intruder. His trial became a global spectacle, revealing a man whose anger and impulsiveness contrasted sharply with his public image. Ultimately convicted of murder, Pistorius's once inspiring legacy was overshadowed by the tragic and violent act that changed his life forever. John War Machine. Copenhagen's journey from MMA fighter to an infamous criminal is a chilling example of how unchecked aggression can destroy lives. Known for his fierce fighting style, Copenhagen made a name for himself in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. However, his life spiraled out of control when he brutally assaulted his then-girlfriend, Christy Mack, and her friend in a horrific act of violence in 2014. The incident shocked fans and the public alike, revealing a deeply troubled side of the fighter. Convicted on multiple charges, including sexual assault and kidnapping, Copenhagen was sentenced to life in prison, forever marking his once promising career as a tragic cautionary tale of violence and control. Harvey Weinstein's name was once synonymous with cinematic success, as he stood behind some of the most critically acclaimed films of the past few decades. Co-founding Miramax and later the Weinstein Company, his power in Hollywood was virtually unrivaled. Films like Pulp Fiction and Shakespeare in Love earned him Oscars and admiration across the globe. But beneath the surface, a dark and insidious reality was brewing. Weinstein's fall began with the brave testimonies of women in the Now Me Too movement, many of whom were well-known actresses, accusing him of sexual harassment, assault, and exploitation. His trial became a symbol of the long-overdue reckoning with abuse of power in Hollywood, and in 2020, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison. His story marked a pivotal moment in history, reshaping how the world views accountability for the rich and powerful. Jared Fogle's transformation from a seemingly average man into an international symbol of healthy living captivated audiences across the globe. Fogle famously lost over 200 pounds, attributing much of his success to a diet of Subway sandwiches. His inspirational story made him a household name and the face of Subway's advertising campaigns. Beyond his commercial fame, Fogle became involved in charity work, advocating for healthy lifestyles. However, in 2015, Fogle's image was shattered when he was arrested for possession of child pornography and engaging in sexual acts with minors. His swift and dramatic fall from grace shocked the nation, as the once beloved figure was sentenced to over 15 years in prison. Fogle's story serves as a stark reminder of how public personas can mask deeply troubling realities. If you have thoughts or questions, don't hesitate to comment below to let us know which stars you like or dislike. R. Kelly's rise to fame was fueled by his incredible musical talent, as he became one of R&B's biggest stars throughout the 1990s and 2000s. His unique voice and songwriting ability produced hit after hit, including the iconic anthem, I Believe I Can Fly. For years, Kelly dominated the music charts, but beneath his success lurked a series of disturbing allegations. Stories of sexual misconduct followed him for years. But it wasn't until the release of the surviving R. Kelly documentary that the public outcry reached its peak. The documentary exposed numerous accounts of abuse, ultimately leading to Kelly's arrest. In 2021, he was convicted and sentenced to 31 years in prison, a grim conclusion to a career once celebrated around the world. Suge Knight's name was once synonymous with the powerful, gritty world of 1990s West Coast rap. As the co-founder of Death Row Records, Knight was instrumental in launching the careers of some of the biggest names in hip-hop, including Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac Shakur. Death Row Records became a juggernaut in the music industry, producing countless platinum hits and defining an era. But Knight's empire was built on a foundation of controversy and intimidation. Known for his aggressive business tactics and rumored gang affiliations, Knight's name became as much associated with violence as with music. His downfall came in 2015 when a hit-and-run incident left one man dead. In 2018, Knight was sentenced to 28 years in prison, marking the end of a reign that had once seemed untouchable. Lindsay Lohan, once a Hollywood darling known for her roles in Mean Girls and The Parent Trap, experienced a dramatic fall from grace due to her struggles with substance abuse and legal troubles. In 2010, Lohan was sentenced to jail for violating her probation, which stemmed from 2 DUI charges in 2007. Her legal troubles were widely publicized, and after failing to complete court-mandated alcohol education classes, she was sentenced to 90 days in jail. However, due to overcrowding in the Los Angeles jail system, Lohan ended up serving just 2 weeks behind bars. Her struggles with addiction and law enforcement continued for several years, but she has since made efforts to rehabilitate her image. Phil Spector was a legendary music producer, credited with creating the wall of sound technique that revolutionized pop music in the 1960s. He worked with major artists such as the Beatles, the Ronettes, and Tina Turner. However, his legacy was marred by the 2003 murder of actress Lana Clarkson, who was found dead in Spector's mansion with a gunshot wound to her mouth. Spector's defense claimed it was an accidental suicide, but after 2 trials, he was convicted of second-degree murder in 2009. He was sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. Spector's story is a stark reminder of how fame and fortune can sometimes conceal a much darker reality. He remained in prison until his death in 2021. Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight boxing champion of the world, was one of the most feared and respected athletes of his time. Known for his ferocity in the ring, Tyson's career was overshadowed by controversy outside of it. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of raping Desiree Washington, a Miss Black America contestant, in an Indianapolis hotel room. Despite Tyson's insistence that the encounter was consensual, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Tyson served 3 years before being released on parole in 1995. His incarceration deeply impacted his career and public image, although he would eventually stage a partial comeback in both boxing and pop culture. Martha Stewart, a domestic lifestyle guru and media mogul, built an empire around cooking, home decor, and entertainment. However, in 2004, she was sentenced to 5 months in prison after being convicted of charges related to insider trading. Stewart had sold shares of the pharmaceutical company Imclone after receiving non-public information from her broker. Her imprisonment at the Alderson Federal Prison Camp, often dubbed Camp Cupcake, was highly publicized. After serving her sentence, Stewart also spent 5 months under house arrest. Despite the legal troubles, Stewart managed to rehabilitate her public image and continued to build her business, reestablishing herself as a major figure in media and entertainment. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video today. See you again in the next videos. Hope you have a wonderful day.